Oh, hi everybody. I am Eric Drysdale and I am back in the Criteriumb Closet. And if you tuned in last time, you know that I had to break in because they didn't invite me back. Turns out the folks at Criterium were very grateful that I was able to find some flaws in their security system and call them to their attention. And they were additionally grateful that I promised not to expose any of the employee data that I got as a result of that breach, as long as they let me come and pick out some more movies. So, if you talk to people, you can work something out, make something work. And I'm glad I got to come back. So let's not waste any time. Let's pick some movies. All right. Upon Heaven's Gusting Winds, great melodrama from the 1950s, what they would have called a woman's movie back then. And everything about it is just so campy and over the top. The performances, the hair, the makeup, the costumes, the gaffing, the on-set catering, the boom operating, everything's just amped up to 11. And Jennifer Goodrow is almost possessed as the scrappy widower who steals her black housekeeper's BLT recipe and becomes a millionairess. And of course, all that striving, it dooms her last chance at love with the young tennis star played by Rolf Harbridge. And of course, this is Rolf Harbridge's last movie before the tragic industrial adhesive accident that sealed shut his signature chin dimple as well as his career. Igor Vorodovitsky, Savage Future. Great sci-fi movie from 1974, a Russian classic, just an all-time film classic. Vorodovitsky is really one of the masters, and this is his classic. It's 3 hours long. It's a little long, but it's got this kind of dreamy, hallucinatory quality that really draws you in, and very simple. It's a family of early space colonists, and they're on a supply run. They enter this force field that starts screwing with their heads, and they don't know really what's happening. They think they're maybe landing on this primitive Earth-like planet, but they don't know. Maybe it's even Earth. Very strange stuff. And it touches on all sorts of themes like history, loss, memory, how technology changes us. And unfortunately, they really screwed this up when they remade this in America in the 1980s as the Flintstones Meet the Jetsons. But that movie has its charms, but this is a stone cold classic. So, and also always great extra features here. It's got an interview with the two surviving cast members, Oleg Bzhevna and Stanis Vertov, who played Fyodor Flintstone and Barney Rublev, respectively. And, a great, this looks good, a commentary track by your college roommate who's tripping too hard and wants to turn this off right away. So I can understand that. Who doesn't love a singing cowboy? Well, I guess Native Americans might not like a singing cowboy, but even they wouldn't deny that a singing cowboy movie is a lot of fun. And this one's no different. Yucca Bill and Singing Lou, Horn on the Range. Of course, Yucca Bill, the first French horn-playing cowboy, which of course meant he couldn't sing at the same time. That's where Singin' Lou comes in. He did the singing, he did the blowing. And just really fun. And, if I were a rustler rustling cattle back then, the last thing I'd want to see is two guys on a horse and a French horn. And America kind of felt the same way. They weren't really popular. This kind of flopped. And fortunately, it's gathered a bit of a cult following over time, and now it's seen in honky-tonks from Boys Town to Frisco. So, okay, anybody who gets my email newsletter will already be familiar with this great Belgian film, Le Dernier Banquet de Zet, and that's because it was recently featured on my list of top 50 films from the Benelux countries of 1988, and deservedly so. And in addition to that, it's just one of the great food movies, right up there with Tampopo, Babette's Feast, Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, Silence of the Lambs, My Dinner with Andre. And it's just so simple and so effective. It's just 3 generations of this Belgian family gather at the home of the matriarch, Could be her last time doing it. And it's just sumptuous cinematography of the food, just course after course of Belgian delicacies, from Belgian waffles to Brussels sprouts to Bruges poppers to Antwerp slaw. I don't know Belgian cuisine. It all looks delicious. And Chantal Ducroix plays the youngest sibling, and she does some of the most erotic napkin folding you'll ever see on screen. So yeah. Oh, and it won the 1988 Cine Benelux Award for Most Dialogue. So cool. All right. Well, speaking of most dialogue, who should I run into in the waiting area but the great American filmmaker Whit Stillman? And great, I love his movies, but boy, try getting out of a conversation with him. I mean, boy, I do not have any opinions about Beetle Bailey. I am a 42-year-old man. But, it was worth it. He was very, very gracious, and he even, I happened to have it with me, and I was so excited. He signed my 1990 Metropolitan handheld LCD game, which I love and still holds up. So, avoid the box of toys. Cha-cha. Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you next time. Thanks.